Even though their season doesn't start for another 7 months, the Ohio women's basketball team is quickly getting ready for it. A week after being hired, new head coach Bob Bolden has added 2 assistant coaches to his staff. And it was just a really powerful offensive attack, but like I said, the defense will have to step up next week when they take on New Albany. It'll be an intriguing rematch from last season as Tri-Valley defeated New Albany in the first round of the playoffs. It was an exciting overtime thriller. After 2 days of competition at the MAC Indoor Track and Field Championships, sophomore Julia Curso led the way as Ohio's distance runners had a really strong showing. Channel intercepted by Chris Michaels at midfield, and Michael will finish what he started when he gets a beautiful fade route. Nathan Strock just drops it into the corner of the end zone.
Junior Aaron Bales and sophomore Mariah Byard certainly mixed it up against Eastern Michigan. The three-point specialist combined for 33 points on 9 of 16 shooting from behind the arc.
It was finally one game that we were both hitting for once. I thought we just kind of fed off of one another.
Dr. Ridpath, you were quoted in a Bloomberg article saying that while schools do get some money from the NCAA tournament, they don't benefit as much as you would think.
I think the conventional wisdom, Glenn, is that spend and chase something that you're likely never going to achieve.
All right, now really quickly, do you think Ohio, being that smaller school, do they have any type of chance at finding any sustainable success at the national level?
It would be very difficult because he who has the most toys wins. Basically, but to do that on a consistent level is difficult, if not impossible, for a mid-major school.
All right, thanks again, Dr. Ridpath, for stopping by tonight.
Thank you, Glenn.
2 plays later, we'll open up the playbook, some trickerations here. Alex Bryant passes it to Jacob Martin to the 15-yard line, 25 seconds to go in the half. New Lex has a shot, and with no time left on the clock, Hook scrambles, almost goes down, stays on his feet somehow into the end zone, tying it up. For the second game in a row, the Ohio Bobcats took on the Miami Redhawks, but this time it was in Millett Hall in Oxford and in the first round of the MAC tournament. But unfortunately for Ohio, the result was the same as they fell to Miami 83-61.
Now, Glenn, I heard basketball just had a really rough weekend.
That's an understatement. I mean, not only did the Cavs lose, but Ohio women's basketball lost. And it was an especially tough weekend for Ohio men's basketball as they went down to Nashville to take on Belmont, but walked away with their first loss in 3 weeks.
What's next for the Generals?
Well, they've got New Lexington next week, and that is going to be a tough matchup because New Lex's defense is fantastic against the run, and tonight Sheridan couldn't get the run going, and when that happens, they really struggle on offense. And Pat, I think if Sheridan loses next week to the Panthers, they will miss out on the playoffs.
100-meter hurdles, high jump, shot put, 200-meter dash, long jump, javelin, 800-meter run. 7 events over 2 days. It's a daunting task for 2 Ohio athletes who have to be the right kind of athlete to conquer the heptathlon.
Well, the whole point of the heptathlon is you have, a jack of all trades and a master of none.
You have to be a well-rounded athlete in multiple events. They've done a good job of, juggling, each of the 7 events.
At this matchup for us tonight, live in Zanesville, our very own Glenn Janos. Glenn, it's already been an awesome season for Tri-Valley, but a win tonight, and they'd advance to the regional finals for the first time in school history.
Yeah, that's right, Blake. The Scotties have been in the regional semifinals 2 times before this, but their rematch tonight against the Eagles will be their 3rd attempt at advancing to the regional finals. And you know what they say, 3rd time's a charm, and the Scotties are hoping to keep it that way because the Eagles are going to be looking for revenge in Gahanna Lincoln. And starting off for the Eagles, Zach Tomey. He's their quarterback, but he's going to run 33 yards into Tri-Valley territory. He makes a couple of moves, and a few plays later, Tomey, he will toss this ball up into the end zone. Kevin Collins brings it in, and New Albany is up 7-0 early on. Well, it's Nathan Strock's turn, and he will loosen up the cannon, bombs it to Matt Amicone, a 59-yard reception. Won't score, but he gets inside the 5-yard line, and 2 plays later, Austin Jones, he's just going to walk on in. He had 300 yards last week, not as much this week, but hey, the touchdown's what matters. It's a tie game, 7-7. After a 3-and-out by New Albany, Austin Jones going to carry the ball and defenders into the end zone. They go up 14-7 in the second quarter. The fans are all jacked up on Mountain Dew because after stopping New Albany again, Nathan Strock will go to Matt Amicone one more time. This one for 28 yards. But they won't get any points on the drive, but it's okay because their defense was on the spot. They held New Albany once more, but Nathan Strzok got to give it right back to the Eagles as Collins intercepts the pass, gets a few return yards out of it, and they're going to try to score at the end of the half, but Austin Jones says no way. With a monstrous hit, that guy can play defense too as well as run the ball. In the start of the third quarter, he will run. Is he going to have just he's running angry tonight. Massive stiff arm, get off me. They had a 9-minute drive to start the quarter, only get a field goal, got an onside kick after that, but Nathan Strzok fumbles. That's their second turnover of the night. New Albany recovers. But hey, Nathan Strzok wants the ball back, and he'll get it back right here with a nice interception off the tip, and he will score the final touchdown of the night, go up 24-7 as the Scotties get that historic win. And on the night, though, it was kind of a pedestrian game for the Scotties, only 360 total yards of offense, but that doesn't matter. They got the win, and that's the most important thing as they advance.
No doubt about it, Glenn. They get that historical win. And, you know, coming into this game, the defense might have been the question mark after giving up 30 points in round 1 last week, but only gave up 7 points tonight. They certainly brought the D.
Well, that's right, Blake. Last week against Tecumseh, gave up over 350 total yards. Tonight, just 150. And Coach Buttermore said earlier during the week, if they played defense like they did against the Arrows in the first round, there's no way they're going to win. But they stepped up tonight. The Eagles had 80 yards on their first drive. The rest of the night, only 70. That's what a good defense will do for you. That will win you games.
Men's basketball needed some late-game heroics to knock off Kent State on Saturday. However, it wasn't DJ Cooper, Walter Offit, or any of the Bobcats' big-name scorers who hit the game-winning shot. Instead, it was backup point guard Stevie Taylor who hit the biggest shot of his career when he drained a three-pointer with 13 seconds remaining in overtime to give Ohio the lead. She redeemed herself by dominating the 3K. Accurso's winning time of 9 minutes, 33 seconds was 15 seconds faster than the second-place finisher, and that brought Accurso's total to 2 victories and 1 second-place finish on the weekend.
It's just been a great weekend. The team's just so supportive.
Sheridan needed this win tonight, but it certainly wouldn't be easy at a tough New Lexington team.
That's exactly right, Blake. As Sheridan, you could essentially say the playoffs started for them tonight as a loss would knock them out. And Pat, they were playing a tough New Lex team who, with the win against their rival, could sneak into the postseason. I think everybody's brackets have been busted at this point. Last night did it for me. I had Indiana going all the way, but at this point, it really doesn't matter to me. I'm pulling for Florida Gulf Coast. I love seeing the upsets.
Honestly, my bracket was over before it even began. It fell apart right away. I'm kind of going for Florida too, just because I like their colors. I like everything about them. That's basically the only thing I'm going off of.
Sometimes that works, though.
It does. Hopefully for me, it works. Yep. Thanks, Glenn.
No problem. Last season, KJ Hook was a playmaking wideout for the Panthers, but he soon began to experience severe pain in his right leg.
Week 5 or 4, it just started hurting. I couldn't walk on it.
What came next was a diagnosis of compartment syndrome, a rare condition that affects the lower leg and would result in season-ending surgery.
It was very disappointing, and it really hurt having him out of the lineup.
It was hard for me to sit there and watch him sit out on the sidelines, knowing that he wanted to be in the game to help his teammates.
Oh, it was tough, not for the rehab or anything, just not being able to play with my friends.
Support from his team made the rehab easier.
They were behind me 100% when I was hurting.
That strong support inspired the determined athlete to work hard to get back onto the field.
I think made him realize just how badly he wanted to play, and it probably made him a better player because he worked twice as hard as he had ever worked before.
The effort Hook put forth earned him the starting quarterback position. Through 7 games, the senior has racked up 1,300 total yards and 18 touchdowns.
We knew he had that potential, but now he's realizing it.
Hook's difficult journey has made him and his family enjoy his senior season that much more.
It means everything. It's awesome to play with my friends and just have a good time.
It means everything. I know he's worked so hard since 3rd grade to be out there, and it makes me proud. He's my son, and I'm very proud of him.
And Blake, Mrs. Hook would certainly be proud of her son's performance tonight. KJ threw for over 200 yards in a 40-12 victory over Crooksville. And they are debuting the new stadium. Paul Culver Jr. Stadium got a remodel, retouch up, and how else do you want to start out the new field with?
With a kick return, maybe.
Yeah, the opening kickoff. Mitchell Fouch here. You take the ball, bounce off a couple defenders, and next thing you know, he's in the clear, taking it 82 yards, 7-0 early on. Ohio finishes the season 6-23. Very much a disappointing season for the Bobcats. For the last time this year, reporting for the Bobcat Sports Showcase, I'm Glenn Janos.